Welcome back to the best After Effects tutorial channel on YouTube. Today I will show you how to make this amazing looking text morph effect, which you can apply on any title animations, any subtitles or whatever. It just makes your composition look way more interesting, and it's super easy, no plugins, less than 3 minutes I hope, so I'd say let's just go right into it. So I prepared a little composition. First of all, we need to add text, of course. I'll just use the same ones as the example. Press S on the keyboard to scale it up and use the align settings on the right to align it to the center. Now I will duplicate this one and enter the second word, which this one should morph into. Also use the same as the example and also align it horizontally and vertically. So they're at the exact same position. And what you should know is that this effect will look better if both of these words are kind of the same length. In that case, it's exactly the same in terms of letters, but yeah, just keep that in mind. Now we can start the animation. So let's go to like for 1 second, for example. Here it should start, but you can of course make it start wherever. So let's select both layers and press T on the keyboard to access the opacity settings. And now we will put a keyframe in both here. The one that should not be visible yet, which the text should morph into, should be 0. So make sure this is 0, and the other one is 100%. Then we can go forward to like 2 seconds, where this should be fulfilled, the animation. And here we can bring this down up to 100% and this down to 0. So now we will see it will change, but it looks not good, of course. So obviously we will add a few effects on here. First of all, we will though pre-compose these. So select both and hit pre-compose and just hit OK. I'll just type in text, for example, but whatever. This is the pre-composition, and on this one we will now apply the important effects, and there are a few. So let's start with the Gaussian blur effect. Just apply it. And here we also have to do some keyframing, so go to the beginning of this animation. So as you remember, 1 second, 0 is already in here, put in a keyframe at 0, then go to the end. Oh no, let's go to the middle first and put in a higher value, something like 50 maybe, or even 60 or 70, and then go to the end, 2 seconds, and bring it down to 0 again. So we will have like a strong blur in the middle of the transition, which is exactly what we want. Now we need another effect, which is, I would say, the most important effect, because it's just that morph effect. And this one is called the levels effect. Just apply it, and now it gets a bit tricky because we need to play with these settings here. So first of all, change the channel to alpha, and then we can bring this little icon, this little triangle here, a bit to the left. Then we can put in another triangle. If we click on the right side, click here, you can see another one spawns. And now we can bring this to the left as well. Now we can take the leftist one and bring it in the middle. And as you can see now, it will be really clear edges instead of this blurry look. And that's it already. Now we can see we get this super cool looking morph effect. And to even enhance it a little bit, I would say, and get like more natural edges and more natural animations, we can also add a roughen edges effect. Just like this. We can basically leave the normal settings. If you increase the border, it will get stronger. So let's not do that. We can just leave it like that, and then we can animate the evolution throughout this composition. So as you can see, it will move a bit and just looks more like wobbly and more natural, as you can see. And if that is not enough for you guys, if you want this whole morphing process to be a bit more organic, a bit more action, you can also do one more thing, which is to add a turbulent displace effect. Just apply it on here, maybe before the rough edges effect. And now we can also animate this. Let's go to the 1 second, bring the amount down to 0, then go to the mid time, which is 130. Bring this to 50, and then again to the end and to 0 again. The size is a bit too high, I would say, so let's also bring this down to 50 so it gets more detailed. And you can see you will now have a little swirl in here. If you want it to be even more organic, you can keyframe the evolution a bit, so go to 1 second, then to the end, and just play with it a bit. And now you can see if that will play. Then we get a more, that looks way better. Please do this effect. it's great. So yeah, that's the morph effect. I hope you enjoyed this one, and see you next time.